Yo, man, it's not gonna stop. That's what Puff said, but as you can see, 50 Cent is helping that not come true. He's done. That was the man who said you can't stop, won't stop. You can't stop him, man. They ain't got stopped out here in these streets. And this Giannis shit ain't stopping either, y'all. KG got the ill pose right now. I can't front. You look very OG-ish right now, KG. What you looking at your man for? That's a very old man
Look
pose.
at Ticket.
That gray.
Because Ticket be sick of piss.
Nah, yeah. Paul Pierce doing his thing though. He got 2 shows flourishing. Huh? Good for you, P.
You know what move I would make right now?
Right now,
I think I would trade Giannis to Detroit somehow and pair him up with Cade. I mean, I think the window's open right now for Detroit. They can come out the East with that move.
You're blown. Do you know if you give up Giannis, you're gonna have to take half
No.
the whole team
Duran?
fucking the
Duran?
Pistons. Who?
Duran?
And who else?
Tobias?
Who else?
And then you throw in Ivy?
Nah.
Ivy?
They want one of them young boys.
All
just
expiring
They
gave
want
deals.
that amen. They
All
want
three of those guys are expiring deals.
Nah, they want that young
But they
boy.
young. You got
Nah.
2 young core pieces.
Listen.
Duran is a 2010. He's gonna be an all-star this year.
Listen, you're blown.
And then you get Ivy potential.
You're
and then you
blown.
get that contract of
You're
Tobias.
blown. You forgot Twin over there, Twin. You know Twin over there, right?
And then you add Giannis with Cade.
Hey, Lord, are you listening?
Hello, you take one of the twins. Okay.
What?
What about Atlanta?
Right, trade no Twin?
They're not there yet to do that move. I don't think that they're there yet to even do that move. They're a good team, but I don't think they're primed yet to make that move and now they go to the mountaintop. I don't think so. Cade is spectacular. Y'all know how I feel about Cade Cunningham, but I don't think that's the move. You don't gut that team for what they're building right now. They're not right at the precipice of winning, and they need something to tip the scale for them to go to the next level. The Knicks are at the precipice of tipping the scale, right? But I think we could find a couple of other teams that are right there. That if Giannis is inserted, now he takes them right where they need to be, which is championship. Detroit is a damn good team. They gave us a hell of a run last year, and I think they're even better this year. But I don't think that's the best move for them. They'd be stupid to give up Asor Thompson. They'd be stupid to give up Duran, especially from what they see from them right now. So everything that you have right now is all homegrown. Why wouldn't I rather do it like Golden State? Figure out how to build this thing. Finally found the right coach. We're a playoff team. We have a budding superstar at the guard position. You need that in this league. Deep bench. They got all the components to just keep building it. OKC was a 20-win team at one point. This team lost 28 games in a row at one point. They got the NBA record, the Pistons team. So they've been building it right. I think that they just need to continue to just slowly build this thing right.
I recall a little over 20 years ago, there was a man whose last name rhymed with Cade. And that boy put on a performance in the playoffs against the Hornets and the Pacers they lost to. Dwayne Wade. And then that summer, they got the most dominant big man of all time, arguably, because Wilter still was out here slinging it. I'm 43. I ain't pausing nothing, Flea. That's a potential move for Detroit to make that looks like the Miami Heat getting Shaq all over again. Now, Durant looks like he could be more dominant than Lamar Odom and Caron Butler and all that. But Giannis is 30 years old. By the way, he's reported he's going to miss a month now. Coincidentally, I just read, if you're injured, you don't have to talk to the media. after 2 weeks. You talk to the media only when you come back from practice or something like that from injury. Giannis is graduating the sneaky Brooklyn Ninja Academy in real time, y'all. That's a slick individual. Would he want to go to Detroit? I don't know. He might want to because it fits the description of what he said years ago when people think he's a hypocrite. Because he was saying, like, yo, I'm glad I don't have to go join a super team and all that. No disrespect. But I just feel something different over here when I go in and do my thing over here in Detroit. I mean, in Milwaukee. Why not go join Detroit? They got the shooter in Duncan Robinson, and Cade could be the Wade of back then. Giannis is Giannis, because Shaq at that time, he was that first year with Miami, he was still kind of Shaq, lost a little bit of weight. D Wade injured his rib. They went 7 games against Detroit. I remember that like yesterday. I said, yo, they would have smoked everybody if Wade was healthy. Wade is bananas. Now, I still don't think Cade is quite Wade at this stage. You know how I feel about D Wade, arguably the second best.
I mean, we don't know that. We don't know that yet. I mean, that climb was quick. D Wade is in the finals in year 3. That's over with for Cade. D Wade was in the finals in year 3. He was a champion by year 3.
D Wade could finish at the basket, no problem. D Wade was yamming it on you. Cade Cunningham, listen.
So was Cade. That's a bad narrative. You gotta put together. Our super producer put together a reel of Cade not finishing at the rim. Please report back to me, please.
We will. The stats are there. That's a knock on him. It is what it is.
Fuck the stats. I don't care about the stats.
The stats, the videos, all of that. His weakness is finishing at the rim and the 3-point shot. But that's not even my point.
At the rim.
He's not
finisher at the rim.
He can finish. Does he finish like the best in the game? No. Actually, he's nowhere near the best in the game. But that's the only lack in this comparison with D Wade, because you know that's what D Wade did. No problem. It don't matter who you was, your mama, your grandmama. D Wade was yamming it. But I digress. I would love to see something in the NBA like that go down in terms of just as a basketball thing. Can Giannis do that for Detroit? Like we imagine he would do for the Knicks, because they need a guy like that, veteran who won already and is willing to win again. That hunger we don't talk about enough. Again, that's why I defended Draymond, because it's hard to keep that hunger when you win. We all know that. The grief for more. Pat Riley, come on, read a little bit. I got mad stuck up right now, Fleet. But it will be interesting, man. That's how I look at it. Giannis will be the Shaq of this era. Some people have compared him to. You go to Detroit and you make that happen. It'll be kind of crazy. Would you trade a Sword Thompson? I think you can include a Sword Thompson, but that'll be tough because you got to trade Durant at that point. Do I want to see some willing and dealing? It's not a super team.
But now you got to build all over again.
Who?
The Pistons.
It ain't much building.
It would be. If the corner pieces are Cade and Giannis, yeah, there's some building. Because now it's 2 guys that can't shoot the basketball at a high level. You got to figure out how to get some shooting around them. Guys that defend. Like, that's already built into what they have right now. Duran is a flat-out great defender now. Sword Thompson is an all-NBA defender.
Yo, Michigan Hendo.
They go ahead. Yo, don't leave that.
Listen, I have to shout him out because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Thank you for calming me down. You got something to say, you can say.
We don't acknowledge.
But he's making a great point. Cade Cunningham is one of the best. He's the best fourth quarter scorer in the game. But he's known to lose the rock. Or is he a great hand? He got a great handle too. We're not going to acknowledge the fact that he had mad turnovers. He helped us out. This year he's doing better. But he's known, make him put the ball on the floor. Make him put the ball on the floor in the mid-range so he'll turn the ball over. And when he gets to the rim, he's not the greatest. He ain't in the greatest department. He ain't no damn Kyrie. And when he shoots from 3, it is what it is. What the hell were you saying, Flea? I'm sorry, I got distracted. My bad. You right.
Yeah, you distracted me, man. You know that he falls in the line of, I don't want to talk to none of you niggas. You wanted our attention. Okay, you have our attention now. I don't want to talk to none of you niggas. Like, out of here. But like I said, I don't like the trade. I don't like the trade to Detroit. I would much rather the move, obviously to the Knicks, obviously to something completely different. There's nothing. I don't think Detroit needs to do it. Now, again, Giannis is a dude that everybody needs to be calling. All 29 teams need to be calling Milwaukee and saying, "Hey, we got this, we got that." Can y'all? Everybody, you got to throw your hat in there and say, "Yo, what's up?" So, King Speech, you don't fall in that category. There's a distinct, you understand what I mean. I love you. I love my people. There's certain group of people I don't want to talk to them. Michigan Hendo, he falls in that category.
Nah, he's from Michigan.
Big shout out to you.
He's holding down his Detroit team.
Them niggas is dirt. Them niggas is dirt. How about that? And we're gonna kick their ass again. How about that? How about that?
Detroit?
Yes. How about that? Love you too, Cherokee. How about that? We're gonna kick their ass again.
What happens if they get Giannis? Yo, y'all keep playing. That's the reason. Either Giannis is gonna have to force his hand with Milwaukee and say, "Yo, get me out of here." I said New York. Or you get to choose. I doubt he want to go to Detroit anyway. That shit's mad cold over there. The fuck he know about? No, Detroit is no. I said New York. What are you talking about? Whatever the fuck the owner's name is over there. That bum. They were interesting though, but what would prevent them from being a championship team? The lack of shooting, the Cade not being.
I just think that type of team that would completely destruct what they have going on. I mean, you bringing in a top 5 player, of course. So I understand, but now that doesn't turn them into championship level team. I don't think so. There's other teams that you pop them into their roster, and they are immediate champions. And I don't think no matter what they do, like obviously with the exception of Brunson, I think any potential deal that could be done with the Knicks, I still think we make out okay. But like I said, if it don't happen, it don't happen. I'm cool with right where we're at.
They're gonna have me go on NBA.com and just start looking up Cade Cunningham games and just go to his misses. They show the video right away on NBA.com.
Yo, you could be a nerd. You could be a nerd and do that all you want.
It looked like somebody. It looked like a sniper popped them out of the roof.
You could be a nerd and do that all you want. The fact of the matter is, he's a great finisher at the rim. I don't want to hear about he can't make layups.
I didn't say he can't make layups, right? I'm saying
fuck about what somebody on the internet told. No,
there's not no internet. We're watching them. We're watching them. We watching Cade. We're trying to see how do you get from point A to point B to point Z, which is MVP level. Ant-Man, same thing. When we argued about Ant-Man, it's like, yo, bro, Brunson's footwork is too crazy. I don't know how Cade, none of these guys have Brunson's footwork. They didn't work on that. But they big. They use their athleticism. They have other strengths that they're going to go utilize.
And
so
they have good footwork. And they have
footwork. Definitely good footwork, but the type that Brunson has is elite, different level. And see, now, if I say that, I'm not saying Ant-Man shit is trash. I'm just saying Jalen's are like all-time great.
Is elite because of it. I mean, you have to understand that he has to be crafty at 6 feet, 6'1".
Correct.
You got to be crafty. You got to be able to manipulate spots and do that. So I agree. I can't knock that, but I don't think that because their footwork is not elite doesn't make them like one of those, untouchable type players. I do agree with you though. You add Jalen Brunson's footwork to an Anthony Edwards, or Shea's footwork to an Anthony Edwards, or both of their footworks to Cade Cunningham, who I think both of them have solid footwork. But if you add it to those games, they become unstoppable. Anthony Edwards and Cade Cunningham.
It's a different level.
Yeah. But I think that's the next level for them. I don't think that they're not going to develop that, right? The game has slowed down year by year by year for Anthony Edwards. Same thing for Cade Cunningham. Now they've like kind of found a pocket, right, where they could know how they score the basketball, know how they, can manipulate and take advantage of their matchups. But now, how do I keep adding to my toolbox? How do I add to my toolbox? Okay, I'm gonna make the most threes in the season last year, in the league last year. Anthony Edwards. I'm gonna just add that to my toolbox. I don't have to just rely on it, but let me add it. All right, what's the next thing? I'm gonna add the post game to my toolbox. Let me add that. And they could take advantage of this shit. Here's the other piece too, right? They could take advantage of this shit because they are young. So now the maturation process isn't like totally sped up. You're not getting a guy coming out that did 4 years in college and he's 22 years old. And so now his maturation in the league has to be quick because he's a rookie and he has to figure out everything. These kids are coming in at 18, 19 years old, right? Falling on their face, trying to figure it out, bumps, bruises. And now you look at them and they 23, 24 years old, so fucking polished. You look at Anthony Edwards' game, it's polished. You look at Cade, you called me and you was like, yo, Cade's game is polished now, bro. It's way different than it was last season. I'm like, and these kids are young, so they take advantage of it. I just, that's the next level for them for sure.
That's the other thing. Motherfuckers gonna argue with me about Cade Cunningham, and I'm the one who said, "Yo, this guy wasn't."
All of that, and that's. Go ahead, Ray. Oh
no, I'm saying. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot that I'm saying this. I forgot I'm the one who said Banchero. He ain't get this good.
Yo, this nigga.
What you say?
The only thing that slowed down for Ed is having kids.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Let us get to the show, Fish. Damn.
But I think Ant-Man, yes, they are young, but that's a part of it. That's a part of it. I think Cade, to have a Giannis there will also be tough, I would imagine, but for a player like him who's used to being the number one guy, Nike signature shoe, he's becoming the face of Detroit. It's not like Brunson, who you really got to work so hard, not just to win basketball games, but to be a superstar level that popular. Cade, I would think it's easier for him to be more popular the more he plays because he's 6'4". What is he, 6'5"? How old is he?
About that.
So these Ant-Man, these guys jumps through the roof. Those guys are obviously going to be easier to, build commercials around and popularity. And Brunson doesn't have the AI effect. That kind of personality is different. So would it be easy for Cade to mesh with a Giannis? Because Giannis's game, that's the other thing that we didn't talk about enough. When you ask, yo, if Giannis comes to New York, we sure Brunson can play with him. And I'm like, I know off ball would be dope. We don't even utilize Brunson enough off the ball, catch and shoot and all that. Giannis ain't a great pick and roll dude. He gets away with a lot of shit because it's either illegal or whatever, but it's the fact that he sets bad picks in an era where you can set illegal screens. That's always pissed me off about him. And I didn't really notice it until Dame Lillard was there. And you had to set pick and rolls for him. Because Drew Holiday was more herky-jerky, streaky, and then Middleton was just, he was streaky, but when he was on, he didn't need Giannis. Yeah.
He was lights out. But I think that's maybe like, is it a fair question to ask? Chat, talk to me too. Fabian, is it a fair question to ask? Has Giannis peaked? Like, is there another level for him to go? Because you're asking, we're talking about other guys being able to mesh around him, right? But the greatest of the greats, we always talk about them being able to play with anybody and be able to uplift anybody, right? The LeBrons, the Stephs, the Kevin Durants, the Jokers, those type of players. You play around them and they uplift your game because of how they play. A lot of the conversation right now from what we're having, especially I said it myself, like it's like, can we fit around Giannis? And essentially you do that because he is going to be the best player on the team. But the best player on the team also has to adapt and figure out, like, how do my attributes, put us in the best position to win? And I think him and Brunson seems a little clunky. What's the best fit for him? Because I think he got to think about that too. And what things he's trying to do going forward in his career. What type of sacrifices are you trying to make? Are you trying to be better than what you currently are? There's still niggas that think Giannis ain't really a good player. I'm sure there's somebody in the chat right now that thinks he's overrated, that doesn't think he's very skilled, that doesn't think he can shoot. All of the whatever flaws he has. There's people that still think he's not good. I'm saying it's probably time for him to still think about taking his game to the next level. And for me, that's being able to play with whoever. Damian Lillard's a dynamic guard. Brunson, a dynamic guard. Luka, a dynamic guard. Cade, a dynamic guard. I heard what OG was saying yesterday about him being able to compete, right? But in the league today, with how saturated with talent there is, right? Because there's a lot of good teams. How do you think that you are that good that where you're not going to be able to play with anybody else? How do you figure out how to be next to somebody else and play at a high level? I think that's important. He can't win a championship dolo right now. It can't happen. He's great, but he ain't great enough. Find me somebody that has done it by himself. I think that's the concern for him right now. As much as we think he's great, I think he has to be even greater for whoever he plays with going forward.
I think he was in the middle of peaking. He's 30 years old. Giannis is unbelievable. That the numbers he's putting up is crazy. The 30 and 10, or whatever stat they came up with that he averaged all-time best or whatever. It's always him and Joker for me. And when Embiid is healthy and he's actually playing right, it was them three, bar none. I don't care what SGA is doing. He's not in their class for me, my opinion. It's just, you're not Jordan. You're not LeBron. That's a different category, bro. Joker, Embiid, and Giannis are three different style of big men, too, that we don't talk about. And whoever says that Giannis can't play basketball, I guess you're referring to the style because they let him get away with stuff. And this is what happens when you're a superstar. I've always said that. You know what I mean? He's always traveling. He's always bumping into people. I don't care what anybody says. But I think that's a part of the winning formula for certain players where they don't. The fact that everybody in the room knows what I'm going to do and I still do it, and I have the balls to do it, that's Giannis too. You know where I'm going to go. You studied my film all last night, and I'm still here doing my thing. I don't have these great moves. He actually went to improve his game, and playing inside underneath that rim, he got better around the rim, and he still is at top of the league with like rim protection, which is what my favorite thing about him was. Because I hate him one-on-one. I hate him. He's better than Cat. Shout out to my guy Allen. He pointed that out. He's better than Cat one-on-one defensively, but he can rim protect still. And how many guys in the league can it's no longer a big man's league, and he's still doing what big men do at the end of the day. So yeah, if he's peaking now and taking another 4 weeks or another 4-week vacation, LeBron style, he's the guy you might have to go after. I don't. Yeah, LeBron style. Do you? Just before we wrap this. Forgot my damn thoughts. Because Giannis going to New York, Detroit, MVP. Oh, because I brought up LeBron. And all ball didn't feel this way, but LeBron wanted to come to New York. Nah, I'm gonna hold off on that because that was a topic I was gonna read the thing.
Yeah. Good.
Fuck that. Sorry, guys. Because it was, you know what? No, we could talk about it for a couple minutes because it wouldn't have been much of a show or much of a segment. Like the whole thing with Giannis wanting to come to New York. Yo, the more I read about it and they were saying he wanted to come here, I'm like, yo, you know who this reminds me of? Donovan Mitchell. And the way y'all felt about Donovan Mitchell. And maybe you said initially I didn't like the trade anyway, and then since then you've gone back from that, like, yo, you make the trade and you figure it out later. And I'm like, yeah, you do that for an MVP candidate, all NBA shooting MVP candidate, not just anybody. I was mad at the Carmelo deal. I was mad at Carmelo for coming here.
Not just anybody, but the star, bro. Not the super. The
star. Hold on.
Go get the star.
Not just the star. And that's my issue. I don't do that for just
and that's where we part ways.
Right.
That's where we part ways.
But if Melo wanted to come here and he pulled whatever he pulled, I didn't like that trade either. And Giannis forcing the trade here, My thing is, for me to disagree with him wanting to come here and not go get him, I can't argue against getting Giannis by any means now, because he embodies everything that I argued for the entire time. I cannot go against that. How the hell am I going to stand here and say, I didn't want Carmelo to come here. We shouldn't trade everybody for a player like that. I didn't want Donovan Mitchell. We can't trade everybody for a player like that. Well, what kind of player do you trade everybody for? There is nobody else that you trade for a player like that for, please. Like I look like a hypocrite in reading this article. Like, who was the last player? Who was the last player that said they thought they were this close to becoming a Knick? They were telling their teammates, "Oh, I'm about to be a Knick."
There was clear evidence of what Carmelo Anthony could do for his ball club. He led the Denver Nuggets to playoff trip after playoff trip while he was in Denver. You knew what you was getting. You were getting a perennial all-star that you could help build around and try to take this thing to the next level. When we were going after Donovan Mitchell, we watched time and time again from his rookie year, him take the Utah Jazz in a tough Western Conference, like Carmelo Anthony, to playoff trip after playoff trip after playoff trip. So they weren't like these bad teams. But what's even better now is this guy is a champion, right? This guy's a champion that we're going after, that we could potentially get. He's a top 5 player, top 3 player in the league. Melo and Donovan Mitchell weren't those guys. They were top 10, top 15 players for sure. But we're talking about a top 5 player. So, there's slight differences for sure. I'm just saying, you do everything with caution. You do everything that makes sense. You do everything that makes sense, right? Do everything that makes sense. You know where we at. You know what we're trying to do. Do what makes sense. Go get him, but do what makes sense.
I think it only makes sense that you somehow said exactly what I said more eloquently. These are the plays that you make a move like this for. What else? Why else does OKC have 100 million draft picks? How can they entice anybody? Because you believe that the next Giannis, Jordan, LeBron, these guys, top 20 player is in the draft next year. Meanwhile, he's sitting right there in the middle of his prime. It's like, I can't argue against that shit no more. And for Detroit, if they're in that position to do that, they have to make that move. You're gonna go. You got Cade and you get Giannis. You get some other pieces. OKC is there. How the hell are you gonna be OKC? You think, like, what is it gonna take with Detroit to be OKC? They're gonna need a couple more pieces. What OKC got right now is insane. This is 1 through 8.
But more growth and finding that right piece. And with Fabian, with the exception of their MVP, who you could basically say he got drafted there because he's been there. He didn't spend really no time in Los Angeles with the Clippers. But we're talking about Jalen Williams is drafted. Chet Holmgren is drafted. Hassan Wallace is drafted. The Wiggins kid is drafted. The other Jalen Williams is drafted. Presti has run a masterclass on how to create and structure a roster. And I think what Detroit is doing is they putting on another master on how to draft and construct their roster. I know there's certain teams that skip steps. I don't think Detroit is the team that needs to be skipping steps. Go get Giannis and you'll waste another 2 or 3 seasons trying to get to the championship. You may be relevant, but I don't think that punches their ticket. And I think that's where we part ways on it. I think you think that if they go get Giannis, no matter what they do over there, that they'll be in championship contention. I'm saying if they do that, they'll be a better team, but I don't think championship contention is right there after a year or two. I think that would take some time for them to put that thing together. So I don't think it's worth it for Detroit.
No, I feel like when you know how I feel about ring culture, and when we bring up rings, so he went to the finals, he's the champion. Okay, that says it all by just saying it, right? He's a champion, but it was the way Giannis won the championship. It wasn't just that he won the 50 ball, 16 and 16 from the free throw line, the game-winning blocks, the game-winning steals. It was theatric, dramatic, all that stuff. But for me, if you get the MVP guy that we know performs, this is not Embiid. Embiid is a guy that I said the Knicks are going to trade for who? That was rumors about Embiid two summers ago. I was disgusted. Embiid, Cat. There's certain players I'm like, yo, bro, there's a black cloud over him. I don't know what it is. I don't want that guy. But Giannis isn't that guy. That's the other thing. He feels like a winner. When you watch him, he has an aura. The Greek Freak has an aura, bro. I can't front on that dude. Call him corny dad jokes, whatever it is. A guy like that, the one consolation prize we have with Jalen Brunson that I always say is, yo, I like to root for that dude, bro. Look what Dime Dropper's going through right now with the Clippers. That shit is trash. Trash. When he first got him, like, yo, they getting Kawhi now, they getting James Harden, Paul George. I said Paul George and Kawhi. I would never want to root for them. That's what hurts. I don't want no people. I don't want no players on my team I don't want to root for. And we went through it with Randall. That's why it was so ill to see him turn his game around that January that I keep referencing. Because he looked like a totally different player. And Giannis is that player. Jalen Duren, another reason why I'm saying all this, Jalen Duren is not promised to be that potential. Giannis has fulfilled it. That's another reason why you go after him. I cannot argue with a guy who's trying to battle Jordan, Wilt, and these dudes. Legit. I can't do it anymore. This ain't Donovan Mitchell. This ain't Carmelo Anthony. Respectfully. This ain't Amari Stoudemire. This ain't none of these dudes. Giannis is a different level. He's that dude. So, I know you know I love OG.
Love him.
That would break my heart. But win or lose, it doesn't put us in championship potential the first year automatically either. You can't because of what you said. That's going to be like Carmelo's first year here with us. Damn, Chauncey's hurt. We traded a bunch of role players. It's tough for Carmelo. Even him, you have to give him that. You got to shoot him some bail with that.
Yeah, but we thought pairing Melo and Amari was gonna just work itself out. And that's what I'm saying about this. Like pairing.
Oh, you mean eventually?
Yeah, but I'm saying pairing Cade and Giannis, you would hope works out, but the roster wouldn't look like it would.
You good?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sometimes people freeze up. That was a great counter. I can't front because that's the position Giannis would be in. But I would think the Knicks now become more of a place to be, and people will understand. That's the hope I guess I have too. Is Giannis and Brunson in New York? You'll come to town. You ain't winning over there. Okay, against OKC. Where you gonna go? Come over here. Like we need some dogs over here. You got Josh Harden. If we keep them, it's just how much are we giving up? That's when we can determine whether we are a champion. We can have realistic championship expectations after the trade is over, if it happens for any team that he goes to. Because you can't just say, well, this and that. And you can say whatever you want at that point. I see another thing we'll get into tomorrow. The players was confirmed who the Knicks were offering based on the money. They thing over there. Again, Troy from the Knicks recap, he did his thing. Who he felt was the ones that had to be involved in that trade to even make it equal. So if we got rid of all those guys, I wouldn't think we could win the first year. And not for that other dude they would trade with Giannis. Flea. Not happening. Are we live?
Big Flea. Never the little one.
ALLBALL TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.